Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Horror Headquarters, episode 2 of season 2, and we're starting off strong with Twitches. Today's episode is on Twitches, if you guys cannot tell by the title. This is my favorite movie of all time. I have teased this episode, teased this film in previous episodes multiple times. I've been working so hard to make it as perfect as possible so that I can touch on so many different points that I want to on these movies. I'm so excited to finally be talking about this episode because I love Twitches with all my heart, as you guys can tell by the necklace, by the shirt. I am obsessed with this film. I'm obsessed with the characters, Alex and Cameron. I love the aesthetic of the film, the mystery of the film, the music, the acting. I definitely want to talk about Twitches 2 if I have the chance. If not, that will be saved for the month of November. But today is all about Twitches. Let's dive into a little bit of background on Twitches. So Twitches was released on October 14th, 2005. It features Tia and Tamara Mowry, both phenomenal actresses. They are so talented. They hit the emotion on point, period, blank. I don't care what anyone says. The story is all about two twin witches that reunite after 21 years of being separated. They don't know that they're twins. They don't know that they have another sibling. They were orphans. They grew up an orphan. And they meet. And now they have to overcome the darkness, which is something that's cursing their land of Coventry. And they have to find their mother and figure out a way to put that into it all. Now, there really is so much about this film that I adore that I had to make an entire list about it. And if I talked about this entire list, it would probably take about 3 hours. So I kind of condensed it into the tiniest amount that I could, but I'm going to start with the music. The music in this film is so underrated in my opinion. It's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. The score is just unmatched. Now, yes, I have to put on my glasses for this because I cannot see anything, but the music in this film was created by John Van Tongeren. Just the majesticness and the beauty and the subtleness of the music just makes it so attractive. And ever since I was young, I found it to be very nostalgic. And now growing up and listening to it now, it makes me emotional, it makes me nostalgic of my childhood, and it makes me calm. Like anytime I'm stressed out about anything in life, if I'm going through a really difficult time, I put on the Twitches soundtrack as much as I can because there's not an official playlist where you can go and listen to all the tracks, but there are some of the tracks that I really enjoy that are on YouTube. Please do not take those away, YouTube, because I love them with all my heart. 2 of them I've uploaded myself because of how obsessed I am with the film. Everyone's probably like, oh my god, you're obsessed over a soundtrack, you're obsessed over a film that's like for kids, that was created over 20 years ago, what's wrong with you? Only true people understand the effect that a movie can have on your life, even past your teen years. Even when you're 80, you still look back at a film and say, I love that one with all my heart. That for me, it's Twitches. Just so much about it. I can get lost in that universe of Twitches for the rest of my life. I'm always constantly dreaming about being a brother in that film, about helping them overcome the darkness. It is some of the best dreams I've ever had in my life, and I always cherish them. For me, this film teaches me about family, about having people that actually care about you in your life, overcoming a lot of different obstacles, discovering your purpose in life. There's just so much about it. And this film, fun fact, is what got me interested in acting. Just seeing how the connection they had, the chemistry that the actors and actresses had on TV when I was first watching it, it captivated me. It interested me in learning more about the acting world. And a lot of times I would have the film on replay. Yes, because it was on demand for anyone out there that still had cable. Obviously, it still exists today, but we don't have that anymore. But I would always have it on demand, and I even had recordings of it so that I can go back, play it, and then act out the scenes as they were happening on TV. That's what got me interested in acting. That's what got me interested in singing. I'm like, wow, this, like, I love the music. I wonder if there's anything you can sing behind it. Now, obviously, I was 4 years old when this released. I did not watch it when I was 4 years old. I think the earliest I started watching Twitches was when I was 6. I found it on Disney Channel one Halloween, and it was Twitches and then Twitches 2. And I'm like, oh, they're like right after each other. Like, are they releasing both of them at the same time? No, one of them was from 2 years ago, and one of them was from 2007, which was October 12th, 2007. That was when Twitches 2 was released. I had not known that when I was young, of course, but I just remember watching it, and I can't believe I even still remember that. Like, that just came back to me. I'm just reminiscing about the time I looked on demand and I checked Disney Channel. At 7 and 8 p.m., they had a Twitches, like, little celebration going on because of the new release of the film. So I watched Twitches first and then Twitches 2. Now, I will say, as a kid, the aspect of the darkness traumatized me. I'm not just saying that in like a joking way. That stuff terrified me. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm so scared of the dark today. I have nyctophobia, which is fear of darkness, fear of just being in the dark. I remember growing up as a kid, as well as so many of you guys. You're probably like, everyone grew up with a nightlight. I was terrified to go to sleep without it. I had like two at least in the room that were super bright, and it always pissed my brother off like crazy. But I needed it because I was afraid that that darkness in that film was gonna come get me one day. Just the horrific music and the sounds coming out of the darkness, because it's actually someone that is the darkness that's doing all this. Sorry for the spoiler alert. If you haven't watched Twitches, go watch it now before you guys find out who was actually the darkness. Now, obviously, I have to say there are lots of mistakes that they made throughout this film. One being that you can easily tell when there's a stunt double on stage, or on the screen, excuse me. Theater mind is coming to life right now. When Ileana is running into the hospital, when she enters a new dimension to escape the darkness, she turns around and you can see that the baby she's holding is just a mask, and that would not pass today. Now, the artwork in this film, the artwork that Cameron creates, because she draws stuff and then Alex writes down everything. Alex is a night owl, I like to call her, and then Cameron is kind of an early bird. She's, as soon as the sun's up, she's up. When the moon's up, Alex is up. Which I definitely designate myself a lot more with Alex, because I am definitely a night owl. I can stay up well past 4 a.m. and be very productive. I am the most productive at night. Are you guys more productive in the morning or night? Please comment below on this episode if you're more productive in the morning or night. I'm very, very curious to know when you guys are more productive. I am not a morning person at all, so if you see me up in the morning, stay away, because I am very cranky. Now, there is one character in this film that we never see. Like I said, spoiler alert, Alex's mom, her adopted mother. We don't see her. We hear a lot about her, and I hope and I wish that they talk about her more if there's a sequel to Switches 2, which I will get into that later because I have some updates on that. But I really hope and wish that they talk about her a lot more. So that's definitely one aspect I hope is explored a lot more. Again, the music. If they do make a Twitches 3, they better nail it with the production, with the music, with the score, because I don't think any soundtrack will ever top Twitches. I'm sorry. It's just way too good. It's so special to me, and it still gets me through so much to this day. Like, it actually makes me emotional thinking about it, because in my darkest times, in my darkest points in my life, whether they were yesterday, whether they were in the past, whether they're going to be in the future, that Twitches soundtrack is always going to be there for me. The music is always going to be there for me, and I just connect with it. And like I said, if you don't understand, I'm sorry that you don't have a film that you connect with, or something that really brings out the nostalgia and the kid in you and just brings joy to you, because Twitches does that for me. Alright, let's talk about the architecture in this film, because I think that's a very important aspect. Obviously, we see a lot more of it in Twitches too, but the architecture was actually filmed in an actual castle, which is called Castle Loma. It's in Canada. I believe it's in Toronto. I've always wanted to go there. There will be an episode on that as soon as I go. I don't know when that's going to be, because I was planning on going to it this summer, but plans changed and I just didn't have the time to go. I went to London instead, which I'm so not downplaying London by saying that, because London was absolutely life-changing. It was so gorgeous. But Castle Loma, it's this gorgeous castle where everything in that film, that's where they filmed it. Like, obviously in Coventry, that's Castle Loma. The outdoor area, the indoor area, all of it was filmed at Castle Loma. And I know the moment that I see that castle, the moment that I walk in and I notice so many different set pieces, I'm gonna start bawling my eyes out, because just to be in that setting, I wish I could own that building. Honestly, if I'm rich one day, if I ever become rich one day, like trillions and trillions of dollars, I am buying Castle Loma and I am living there for the rest of my life. People can still come visit, but come nighttime, that's for me to walk through and just explore, and wow, that would be such a dream. And I think that's another thing that makes this film so special and so unique, is the architecture, along with the music, along with the acting, the costumes. It all comes together so well. They really were so ahead of their time with this film, and thinking that it's from 2005, and I'm sorry, the Disney films we get today are not as good as Twitches. I'm sorry. That's the truth. I wish they made them as good as Twitches. Like, we have really horrible writing. We have a lot of potholes that end up in films. I don't like that. bringing back the traditional Disney Halloween Town, Twitches, The Nightmare Before Christmas, all these iconic films that people still love and they rewatch on Halloween in October because of the effect that it had on us, because of how special they were to us. And today's generation will never understand that. Now, just a little another fun fact is that when the sisters meet in the film, when Alex and Cameron meet for the first time, it's the same way that they meet in their TV series Sister Sister. They bump into each other and they look at each other and they start screaming. Now there's a couple more things I want to talk about before we get to Twitches 3, which is the potential sequel that we may or may not be receiving. First thing is the jewelry. The jewelry in this film, as soon as I watched it, fell in love with it. As you guys can tell, I mean, like, look how many moon necklaces I have. This is actually from someone that makes them on Etsy. I didn't even know that they had these, and this is literally the necklace from the film. It's this, but without the star. I still haven't received the one with the star yet. I'm actually planning on receiving that one soon. Look how many moon necklaces I have. Just like, it's called an obsession, and I'm not afraid to show it. When I'm out in public, especially when I was in Salem, and I wear this necklace around, everyone's like, oh my god, I love your necklace. Where did you get that? And I'm like, I had it made from someone on Etsy. And they're like, what? I'm like, yes. Some of them are like, that's from Twitches. I'm like, yes, it's from Twitches. So like, I'm like, it's my favorite movie of all time. They're like, yeah, me too. I'm like, I've found my people through this necklace, and another reason why I love wearing it is it makes me feel protected. I just really resonate with the necklace a lot. I feel like it's special to me. I shouldn't even say I feel like it is special to me, and it's gotten me through a lot. I always put it on when I want to feel a little bit protected from like bad juju, or I'm going somewhere, or I'm just in a conversation I don't like. I have this on and I feel protected from any bad energy from entering my life. So this one has definitely gotten me through a lot, and it does work. I always find a sense of calmness as soon as I place it on, or as soon as I hold it in my hand. Now there is one more scene that I want to talk about before we kind of change the subject a little bit. This scene still puzzles me till this day. The scene where Alex and Cameron are walking in the park and they're just talking, and there's like these cow structures. I wonder if I feel like a bunch of people are going to know what I'm about to talk about if they've watched the film. There's these cow structures, and there's one scene where it cuts to them and their eyes are moving. And it's two of the eyes that are moving. I'm like, all right, who are those people? Is it Ileana and Karsh? Is it Thantos? Is it Miranda? Is it their father? Is it something else? I don't know what it is. Are they just alive, really, and they just brought them to life by walking past them? We will never know what they were. I mean, unless I talk to the people that wrote the film, I'm going to ask them, like, why were the cow's eyes moving? Who are they? Because they're statues. Is it Thantos? Is it Ileana and Karsh watching over them? No idea. And I think that's one mystery that I really enjoy, but it still aggravates me. The ending scene, the magical scene where Alex and Cameron come together to save their mom from Uncle Thantos, who is the darkness. And they do this spell, and then Cameron's like, my mom, the opposite of darkness isn't light, it's love. And special fact, that was my senior quote when I graduated in 2024. It was, the opposite of darkness isn't light, it's love. And that's something I still live by, you guys. Opposite of darkness, it's not light, it's love. Have love for people, be kind, be respectful. That scene is so powerful, and it makes me so emotional because the acting, I keep coming back to the acting, it is so freaking good. If you guys have not watched this film yet, I'm telling you right now, you need to watch it, especially in the month of October. It is going to become your new favorite Halloween film. It is just so special. The visuals, the sounds, everything about it makes it so special and unique. And I wish I could reach through the camera and like shake all of you guys and be like, watch this film right now. I want you guys to run to your computer or run to your TV and play this film. And I hope you guys love it as much as I do, because it really does mean a lot to me. There's a twist ending to this film, which I wish they incorporated into the actual film. The twist ending is Miranda saved, and she's not wearing her necklace. And she opens up a portal for her kids to go back home, but the door won't open. And Alex and Cameron are like, it's not opening. And she's like, that's not possible. Use your magic. They hold each other's hands and they say, to home. They try opening the door. It won't open. Then suddenly they realize her necklace is missing. And then she says, Thanatos must have taken it. Then you see him up in the sky, flying, laughing. The darkness lives. The darkness is alive. But they didn't go with that. That's the alternate ending, and I wish they incorporated it, but that would have completely changed the trajectory of Twitches 2 as we know it, because Twitches 2 starts with the fact that Thanatos may or may not be alive. Like, it's not with the statement that he's 100% alive. Okay, Twitches 3. Is it happening? I have been wanting a Twitches 3 ever since like 2015, when I started growing up and like leaning a lot more into the film. I've been wanting it a lot more badly ever since. I mean, even these past couple years, I've been dying for one. For Disney to finally announce on their page, they put a Twitches and then they put a 3 coming 2026 something. I'm like, just give me the film. I want it. There's been multiple interviews with Tia and Tamara, not together but separately, where they expressed their interest in wanting a Twitches 3, where that Chloe and Halle, which are Chloe and Halle Bailey, if you guys have ever listened to their music, they are so talented, and they said that they would want them to play their kids. And I'm like, that is genius. That is so smart. I would pay to watch that. I would literally pay to watch that. But I only want the sequel if it's done properly. Now, fast forward to a couple days ago. Jennifer Hudson asked Tia Mowry if she would either do another Twitches movie. And Tia, she's like, I'm like, what do you know? What do you know? Are you hiding something? And then she's like, I don't know. But never say never. That to me tells me that I think something's happening behind the scenes. I hope something's happening. I hope I'm not tooting my own horn, but I feel like a Twitches 3 may or may not be in the works. If it is, I'm going to scream my lungs out. I'm going to be the person in the front row seat at the theater, because they should be a theater release, because I want to watch this film in theaters to get the special effect. But like I said, if it is done, I want it to be done properly. I don't want it to be done in a childish way. I want this film to be PG-13. I don't care. I want it to be more violent. I want it to be more graphic, more intense, more mysterious, because I love the mystery behind these films. Recently, I posted about it on my story. Tia Mowry saw it and she liked it. She liked my post. I went into a full-on, like, fledged panic attack, because that's the first time she's ever liked anything from my content, anything that I've ever posted about Twitches. She's always been hesitant to say anything about it, and she finally liked it. She hearted my story, and I'm like, is this confirmation? Is it coming? Are you working on something? Tell me. And I DM'd her because she accepted my DMs because she saw the thing, and I like put like this whole spiel in a message, and I said, please just tell me if there's one. I won't tell anyone. So I'm really hoping for a Twitches 3, as well as the next person. I know there's a bunch of people out there that want a Twitches 3. I am dying for one, like I said, only if it's done properly. This episode is super long. I'm probably going to be doing a part 2. I'm going to end it there, though, but I hope you guys love this episode. I love talking about Twitches. I still have my glasses on. I love talking about Twitches. I love discussing it with anyone that's interested in listening. I could talk about this movie for the rest of my life. I'm actually going to go watch it right now, because it is October 14th. It is the anniversary. It is the 19-year anniversary of this film, which is insane to even be saying. 19 years. I am old. I am very, very old. Please give me a Twitches 3 before I pass. Please. In the next 5 years, I will accept it. If it's 2028, I can deal with it. I can handle it. I can wait. Just give it to me while I'm young. Like, don't wait until I'm on my deathbed at 100 and then you're like, oh, there's a Twitches movie. Because that will be the end of my life. It will. Like, I won't live past it. If you guys have ever watched Twitches, please sound off below. I'm interested to see what you guys think about the film. If you guys are interested in watching the film, if you guys want a Twitches 3, if you guys like Twitches 1 or Twitches 2 more, I will be doing a part 2, like I said, most likely, because this episode is super long. People are going to probably be really pissed off. I'm like stuttering over my words. I'm going crazy, but I'm making this as raw as possible because of how much I enjoy this film and everything about it. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at The Horror Headquarters, on TikTok at The Horror Headquarters, Twitter at The Horror HQ, and like always, tread very lightly and pray for forgiveness. Midnight hour is approaching very, very soon. Bye, guys.